Hey, okay, Lois, can you hear me? Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're here. Lois! Woo, can I get an amen? I'm so excited. Okay, this is so exciting. Okay, can I hear you? No, okay.
Here I am.
Okay, oh my God, I'm so excited. That's a really fun, is it like a feng shui thing?
Yeah. I used to stick big pens in my hair, and I was traveling in Asia when I was in the fashion industry, and one of the factories thought it would be cool to make this for me because it's actually knitted sweater fabric in this configuration of little balls.
Oh my gosh.
So it's one of my most favorite things to put in my hair.
I love it. And I have to ask you, are those glasses from Peepers?
Yes.
Because I have some like that. They're like my blue blockers. So and they kind of look they look great on you. Mine are it's a little bit big. So but I put them on at night so that I don't have a hard time winding down. So you wear them all the time? Are they blue
Yeah.
blockers?
No, they're just peepers readers.
Okay.
I love
Yay,
yours.
yay Peepers. Oh, thank you. I don't remember. I had some Kate Spade ones that I loved, but they kept breaking all the time. Okay, so I think well, I'm so excited, and if it's just going to be you and me, then I can give you so much. But I do have
Awesome.
this yummy, yummy handout, and I realize, I guess, because today is a holiday weekend, there's probably a lot of people who are like doing other things. Because the past few Saturdays, I've had really a lot of people coming. So before we get started, catch me up. How are things with you? Is everybody healthy and safe?
Everybody's healthy. We're all safe. Family around the country. Everybody's good so far. How about you?
Knock on wood. Yeah. I do have to say, like, I was saying how I feel like it's a roller coaster every day for me. Like, I start off okay, and then I have this thought of, like, oh, am I in a science fiction movie? No, no, this is real. Okay. Because it feels like I have nothing to compare it to. You
Right.
know? I mean, most of us don't unless you're like 103, right? And so,
Right.
yeah, it's just, and I'm so grateful for like the little things, and my heart breaks for what's happening, and so it's like this
Yeah.
paradox of like I'm so grateful to be healthy and that I'm busy and giving, but I'm also just heartbroken. um in fact this to me is why we do what we do, right? And
Yes.
I can't wait to have you on my podcast, Lois. But like this woman that I know, her name is Donna V. Nobody can say her last name. It's like Vaseles or something. And she has a hair salon in Bloomfield called Salon Gossip. And I met her years ago before she started doing comedy. So she's been doing stand-up comedy, but she's such a giver. So like she does a charity every month, and of course her salon has been closed. And so what she's been doing every day at 10 a.m., she does story time for kids to
Oh,
give the moms a break. I'm like, oh my God, like she's just giving. And she's been doing like painting with Donna. Like she's just doing all kinds of things to give back to her community and to stay connected. And she knows it's good for her too. But like, I just thought that was so cool.
yeah, that's really beautiful. Yeah, I'm finding this is giving people an opportunity to be kinder, to be nicer, to work more together. People who typically wouldn't collaborate, reaching out. And my cousin works for a big pharma company, and she actually works in the department with all the scientists that develop all the vaccines and
Right.
stuff. So they're really busy. So she's working from home, but she's got to get the lab supplied with stuff. And she said the scientists and companies from all over the world are working together.
Wow. See, yeah, that's so inspiring. Hi. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Andrea Bovey is here in the house. Whoop, whoop. She's hilarious and fun. And Catherine Woods is amazing. I can unmute you for a second, I think. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. And then we have Tom. We have a man. This is so exciting.
I invited Tom.
Okay. I'm like, we have a man in black.
A man in black.
Tom James. It sounds like it's like 007, shaken, not stirred, right? Like, so, oh my God, I'm excited. Well, Lois and I were just having a talk about how even though it's a crazy time, it's also inspiring, you know, that people are doing acts of kindness and generosity. And, you know, I feel like some people are really rising to the top and other people are not able to do that. But those of us who can, I keep doing it. So anyway, well, let's get started because I'm sure you guys came here for some juicy, juicy stuff. So thank you so much for being here. And if it's okay, I'm going to keep people on mute and then we can like do a discussion thing later. So in case you don't know me, my background's in the arts. I grew up performing and singing, but I did not know how to speak. And I remember the first time I went to a Toastmasters meeting, I went to support somebody. And here I've been performing my whole life, singing, dancing, acting, voiceover, and they call on me on table topics. And I literally stood up and I went, and then I sat back down, like I squeaked. I had nothing to say. My heart was racing. My palms were sweating. And I remember thinking, wow, Elaine, if you don't have like a scene, a monologue, a song, you have no clue what you're doing. So that was really the start when I started working on becoming a professional speaker. And the same thing with comedy. When I, first started, I wasn't funny at all. And I had to really work at it. And the whole reason you may be thinking like, why are you telling me this, Elaine? Because it's a skill. Being confident on camera is a skill. Being confident in the front of a room is a skill. And I believe that everybody has what they call visibility blocks. Like I feel comfortable doing this. I feel comfortable doing comedy. But if you called me tomorrow and said, Oprah wants to have you, I would be like, like all of my stuff would come up. I'm not skinny enough, all that stuff. Our little critic. I have mine's right here, my little critic. So anyway, so I love talking to people and teaching them some of the basic skills so that they can share their message. I believe that entrepreneurs are the future. I think, more than ever, how many people have recently lost their jobs? And I think that entrepreneurs have the power to help turn it around and hopefully create new and stronger businesses and hire other people. Because I think this is going to be, oh, cool, AD, awesome. We have one more person coming in. I hope. Oh, I may not be able to. Sorry, Zoom has all these new rules because there were all these Zoom bombs that happened like 2 weeks ago. So I'm sorry, I can't seem to get this person in. Okay. Anyway, so my whole point is, you guys, we have to step up because people need us and they need to hear, oh, good, he made it. AD made it. Okay. They need to hear us, and they need to hear our stories and what makes us different and unique and special. So I've been teaching live video for about 3 years. I've been coaching for 15, speaking for 15, and almost every single person I've ever met is like, I don't like the way I look. I hate my voice, and I don't know what to say. So first of all, you're not alone. You're not alone. I was bulimic for 12 years. I know what it's like to have body issues. I have held up entire projects because I could not look at myself on camera. So first, I'm going to give you a couple of quick tips. So this is, you never want to be like this. Hey, is the video on? Let's wait. When you can put the camera slightly above or eye level with you, that's ideal. It's more pleasing and it's more flattering. And who doesn't want to look their best? Like, I can't turn you into a supermodel, but I can teach you some of those tricks, right? So then also, I recommend everybody go to Amazon right now or after this call and get a ring light or 3. They're like $7. You can get them with batteries or you can plug them in. But just a little light pop can really make you feel like you look your best. And it can hide some of the wrinkles if you're, 40 and up. And, when I feel like I look okay, I feel I can connect better, I just feel more like I can connect. I'm not going, oh God, I haven't brushed my teeth yet. You know, that feeling. So we've talked about angle and then framing. You know, you just kind of want to be mindful. Right now, my background's a little messy, but you want to, you know, just be mindful. You don't want to ever just have a total plain wall, because then it can look like you're in somebody's closet or something. But it's nice to just test things out. And, you know, sometimes I have bought clothes. I thought, oh, this will look cute on stage. And then I get on stage and it doesn't read. So colors look different, fabrics look different. So you always want to play with stuff before you start the first time. And avoid patterns, avoid, you know, you can do small polka dots, nothing too bright, nothing too flashy. And this is just one of my pet peeves. I don't like when people have really big earrings that clang, because then I'm like looking at the earrings and I'm not listening to what the person is saying. And I'm like, what are they? Oh, you know, so I always think of kind of like less is more. Less is more. Cool. Are you guys good with that so far? So anyway, so we've drifted a little bit about how to make yourself feel your most attractive. Now I want to talk about your voice for just a minute. I've had a pretty busy week. So I've been talking a lot, so I'm a tad bit raspy, but I want you to do this with me really quick. I know it's very glamorous. I call that the bubble. And if you start doing that throughout your day, it is so great because it forces you to be on your breath. Ideally, we want to be on our breath as if we're doing a Shakespearean play, but not totally. But, you know, Broadway singers and actors are spitting because that means they're on their breath. And you cannot do 8 shows a week if you're not on your breath. Now, your goal is probably not to do Broadway shows, which aren't even happening at the moment, but as you grow your business and you're speaking and going on book tours and doing interviews, the worst thing that can happen is to lose your voice. That has happened to me. And it can be such a scary feeling when that's how you make your living, communicating. And so sometimes people are like, Elaine, this is kind of weird. I'm like, there's a method to my madness. When I do my group program, we do a group warm up because I want you to get in that habit. And honestly, warming up for me, my body is trained. Oh, okay. We're going to focus. Because, you know, we all have those days when we're on fire and you're like, yeah. And you're just like, woohoo, I got good hair going on. My makeup looks decent. Ha ha. And then there are other days where you're like, I'm supposed to do a live? Oh God, I feel fat. I feel frumpy. I feel frizzy. I'm not, you know, we all have those days, right? We're human. And so that's why I love doing simple, basic, quick warm-ups can train your body to get you in that state, you know, to change your energy state. So one of them, the favorite is the bubble. And another one is, I'm going to breathe in through your nose and breathe out. Like a snake. Good, one more time. That is a Stowe breathing technique. He was an amazing choir director in the 60s. He worked with the Olympics team when they went to Mexico City because of the high elevations. He also worked with polio victims. And his whole premise was when you focus on the exhale, then you don't even think about the inhale. Because a lot of times people are like, breathe, and then we go, and we tense up and we do all these weird things. Babies breathe with their bellies. They let it hang out. So if we can all go back to like deep belly breathing, and now you're home alone, nobody can tell. So let yourself pooch, let your belly hang out and get more oxygen. I'm such a huge fan. I know Catherine, I'm so honored that she's here. She teaches voice and diction and confidence. So I can't wait to learn from her too. But you know, so important. Breath is so important. I can already feel like I'm a little bit more in my body than when I started the video. Because there's nothing worse than, I'm so excited, oh my God. We don't want to squeak. It's hard to listen to that, right? Like think about your favorite people. James Earl Jones. You know, there's so many great people with these rich, resonant voices. Nat King Cole. Yeah, we should share warm-ups. We totally will, Catherine. It's a date. I can talk after this if you want. But, you know, we want to be able to have resonance with our voice. But you guys are like, okay, well, we want to get to the meat, Elaine. So I just had to give a couple of performance tips because that's just what I always do. And, oh, yeah, I love it. Also, just to back up a minute, for me, I've been performing my whole life. And the time when I'm getting ready, before I'm going to the theater or the comedy show or stepping in front of the camera, that is to me the most precious time. And that's when I need to protect my mindset, right? That's not when I need to go into compare despair on social media or call somebody who's really crazy in my family, right? Like I need to protect my mindset. So no news, right? And so a lot of times when we get excited, we don't breathe as deeply, which makes us more nervous, which makes us more tense, which makes us not breathe deeply. It's like a vicious cycle. And so to me, I put on makeup, I'm doing my bubble, I'm doing my trills, I'm doing little vocal warm-ups to help me not get in that tense place, right? And I always think of coming from action. Instead of just sitting, I'm always walking before I go on stage, doing shoulder rolls, so that when you press that button, you're like, hey, and you're not like, you know, you're there, you're on. And so sometimes the simplest little tips can completely change your energy state and have you like ready to go, game on. So those are just a couple of the performance tips that I love doing and I share and I swear by them. And I spent a long time learning all of those back in the day when I was studying voice in New York City and Texas. So, but today I really wanted to talk about how we are swimming in content, but it's easy to not see it, right? Like you are sitting there in your expertise. Like Lois is a feng shui and a Reiki master. She cleans your space and she cleans your soul. I'm like, oh, do me, please. Swipe me. I'm sure I need some energetic clearing, you know? And then like Catherine does confidence coaching and vocal stuff. And Andrea is like this amazing insurance, all the things I'm horrible at, but important things. She is like the one to go to for all of that stuff. So we all have these area of expertise. And Tom, you're just like in charge of like sexy, cool guys who sit in the dark and we can't see your face. I'm just kidding. But we all have areas of expertise, right? And you don't even realize how much you know because you're living it. You've swum in it. You've studied it. You have licenses and certificates and all these names and numbers after your name. And it's easy to forget what you know, right? And I like to think of it as there's the consciously incompetent. Like think about when you're driving a car, right? When you first started, you were like, you had to really think, put on your brake, then put on the gas, check your signal, parallel park, right? And at first you were horrible and hopefully you didn't have to retake your test too many times, right? And then gradually you practice driving and now you drive all the time, or before the pandemic, you drove a lot and you didn't even think about it. You get in your car, you are unconsciously competent, right? Well, that's how you are with your areas of expertise. And there are probably things you forget about that you know. And so one of the reasons I love talking about this is it's going to spur your creativity and it's going to help you. Now, one of the things as a comedian, I trained myself to always have paper and pen with me. Some people use their phones, but for me, creativity happens when I am taking a shower, doing the dishes, folding clothes, driving. It's not when I sit down on my computer on Monday morning. I have to write a blog. What's going to be my topic? Right? There's that pressure of the empty blank, space and the deadline. And a lot of times we go, I got nothing. And so that's one reason I love this, because ideally I want you to be retraining your brain throughout your day to be going, oh, that's a Facebook Live. Like when people call me, my clients will call me and they'll go, oh my God, one of my clients said, and I'll be like, that's a Facebook Live. So I want you to be thinking about all the things that you teach and do and the things that you say on a regular basis to your people, right? because to me, that's the essence of your work. It's one thing to sit in front of the computer and be in your head, but it's another thing when you are leading, coaching, teaching, showing, guiding. There's going to be things that come out of you that you say to your clients that's like, that's gold. So, and it's easy to discount it. Sometimes our little critics will go, oh, well, everybody knows that. Well, no, everybody doesn't know that. And what you know and the way you deliver it is your unique, special way. Nobody can do it like you, right? And so I just invite you to be open, to have a beginner's mind about this. And another thing I teach in my class, we go deeper into is sometimes people want to pack a whole book into one Facebook Live. Like, okay, I'm going to give you so much, but our brains, especially right now, we're all maxed out, right? There's a lot of information coming at us every day. So I call it my power of one example. So you think of your one person with their one problem and your one solution, not 25, not 5, but one solution. So like, for example, just, I said, hey, come learn my top tips for topics. Say that fast 5 times, right? So of course I'm teaching more than that because I just want to give and serve, and I want all of us to get out there and help everybody. But I'm sticking on topics, because if I try to teach you all these other things, it's going to be too much. Yes. Okay, great. Cool. Catherine is dropping some awesome stuff. Yes. And yeah, it's great to do a series. And another reason I love teaching live video, I think of it as like an octopus, right? So there's so many people who don't know who you are. Some people are going to come in through Facebook. Some people are going to be searching on YouTube. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world, right? Google's #1, but how do you think anybody learns how to put on makeup, how to cook these days? I learned how to set a trap for a squirrel on YouTube. So what I love about teaching live video is you can do it, and if you're happy with it, then you can save it, download it, and repurpose it. So it's a great way to 10x your productivity. Another thing I love about live video is you can do it from anywhere in the world if you have decent internet. And so while you're sleeping, while you're coaching people or doing yoga or living your life, somebody on the other side of the world can be checking out your YouTube channel or your Facebook or whatever and learning about you. So it's a great way to help automate and help people get to know, like, and trust you. And it's also a great way so you can guide people to see if they're like the qualified buyers for you. But that's a little bit more, we'll go into that deeper another time. But anyway, so let's talk about topics. So I will make sure, if you guys stay, I will make sure you get this. This is my handy dandy hot 25 topics. And some of these you may be like, well, duh, but I guarantee you it's nice to have the list for those days when you are under pressure, don't have a lot of time, whatever. And so, the power of one, keep it super simple, right? You could do a whole series of videos, but the power of one, think of that one client and that one problem that they had, right? And you want to lean into your camera. You want to just think that you're talking to a friend. Sheridan, I've been meaning to talk to you about your breath. Have you tried Colgate? I did commercials in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. And one of the things they teach you is that you got to lean, you got to drop in. You don't want to be like, hi, everybody. That's too presentational, right? And think about it, especially right now, we are taking in content through our iPads, our computers, our phones. And so it's just us mostly, right? And so you want to just be thinking, get in that habit of like the one person with the one problem and the one solution. And then if you have a whole bunch of things, you can totally make a whole series of videos. I think of live videos as like Hansel and Gretel, little breadcrumbs. Because ideally, we want someone to discover us and be like, oh my God, Andrea Bovey, she knows her shit. I've been searching for somebody who knows all this stuff and who's cool. What else does she have? Because we've all done that. Have you ever done that where you discover somebody and you fall in love with them and then you stalk them on YouTube to see what else they got? I mean, that's what we all want. Stalk me, baby, stalk me, right? But I would rather people watch a series of short videos than see some long convoluted one that they don't finish. Less is more. It's an old vaudeville saying, but it's true, Sheriff, it's true. So anyway, so one problem, one solution, one person. Another thing you can do is you can open a box or a package. I've done that with, I had another speaker send me one of her books. And so I did a Facebook Live and I was like, and obviously you want to know what's in the package. You don't want to do that. If you get a little toy or something, that could backfire. But it's a fun way to kind of like share, to celebrate, you know, with your people. Be like, oh my God, look, I got this book in the mail. Or, oh my gosh, one of my clients sent me this award that they got. Or, you know, that can be like a fun thing to do. You can also talk about articles or blogs, or like I got this magazine. It was the Time Women of the Year. And it has been so inspiring. And I was reading it, like I gobbled it up and I was like, how come I don't know about these people? How come I only know about the white men? Not true, but you know, so I started a series because I feel like these stories need to be told. And this is one of my missions, is I give voice to people who haven't had a voice. And I want to tell the stories that we should know that we don't. And so I've only done like 5 of these. So there's like 40 more, you know? And so, and I'm not saying you have to have it perfectly memorized. These are live videos. We're not expecting Shakespeare or War and Peace, nor do we want it. But, you know, it can be your take on something. It can be your take on an article in the industry. It can be your take on a new app, a new program, a mentor. So, you know, just think of what you read about for your area of expertise and what you are swimming in that you don't even realize how much you know that other people don't know, right? Or they don't know with your spin. So I'm a big fan of Post-it notes. And this says, nobody else can do it like me. Because my little voice will tell me things like, oh, Elaine, everybody knows video. Everybody, you know, and I'm like, yeah, but you know what? They're not going to laugh. I'm going to tell a fart joke. I don't know. No one's going to do it exactly like me, and no one's going to do it exactly like you. So we need you. So this is just a way for you to kind of, you know, share what you do and who you are and what like inspires you. So that's another way. You can interview people. I have BeLive.tv, but I know there's a bunch of new things coming out. There's Jitsi. I'm trying to learn as fast as I can. But to me, that's really fun when you can have another client on with you and you can interview them. I love sharing about other women in business, their businesses. I love supporting that. And I was doing Facebook Live interviews last year because I just love learning about people's businesses and how they got started and what was their reason and their why and what lights them up and who they help. And that's a great way for you to showcase you and the work that your clients and or colleagues do. It's also fun to collaborate. I've been doing, like we all have, we're doing all kinds of things online now in our Zoom rooms and etc. And so it's fun to get with somebody who's even you know, someone you could collaborate with who does a similar thing to you. Or I think Catherine Woods, I think we're going to probably do something together because we both are passionate about speaking and confident. And you know, I think that there's so much to it. Like I teach the outside stuff, the skills, but there's always inside barriers too. And so that's one reason I love all the Debbie Ford work that I did, because I think we have these invisible inside blocks as well as worrying about the camera and blah and blah and blah. So anyway, so you can always interview somebody. You can share a case study. Now, this is one thing I love teaching. I did this the other night for my, you know, if I say, hi, nice to meet you, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. I mean, are you just like, right? And I know people do that on LinkedIn to me. I'm like, I just met you and you're like already pitching me, right? And I never want to be that person. So to me, why I love teaching story is if I can go, hey, can I tell you about my client Kathleen? So she and I worked together, and she's an amazing speaker, but she was really nervous about being on camera. But because I'm like goofy and I would like make her laugh, and sometimes we would start shooting and I wouldn't even tell her. So before she knew it, she was making videos and she wasn't like thinking about it too much. We had like crafted her message, but I like was just so casual. I'm like, well, just talk to me. And before she knew it, she was like, these are amazing, right? And so that's one of my superpowers is I get people talking and they don't even realize the camera's on half the time. But like they're getting their essence. They're being their true self, and not and now I'm going to be corporate and enunciate correctly. But that's not me, you know? And so to me, that's fun when you can share a story like that. That's captivating. That's why I love teaching story. And you can make story in 2 sentences, 4 sentences. There's lots of ways to do it. I also love to talk about something that inspires me or breaks my heart. You know, I feel like there's already so much going on right now about what's breaking people's hearts. I'm like, you don't need to hear that from me. I'm going to try to do the uplifting things. And my goal, I want to start doing an inspiring stories salon. So people can come in like in a Zoom and we gather and then we share inspiring stories, and then we do a little bit of coaching if you like it. So I'll let you know when I'm doing that, just as a gift because I love storytelling. But to me, that's the power of story. You can just drop in and just think about it. Like our brains, we're getting so much information, right? And our brain's job is to sort it. Do I need this? Is this important? No, forget this. And this is happening so quickly. We don't even realize it, right? They used to say that you had to see like the Poland Spring water. You had to see that label like 7 times before it registered. Well, now it's like 27 times, right? And so when you can have people lean in because you're telling a story and there's information plus emotion, that's what stops time. Is what creates memory. And so that's another reason I'm so passionate about teaching story. So you can also you can demonstrate, you can do live coaching. Like I could say, okay, now Lois didn't know this, but I'm going to coach her. Like I wouldn't do that to you, but you know, like it's great to do a live demo. So you can work with somebody and you can do whiteboards, you can do handouts, you can lead people through exercises. And here's the other crazy thing about Facebook Live, okay? So you of course you want people to engage. Of course you want people to stop by and say hi. And sometimes there's just a few people on. That's okay because people watch the replays. And sometimes those numbers aren't accurate. So don't get hung up in that. So many times people are like, oh, I only had 3 people come on. I'm like, it's okay. You did a live. The algorithm's going to push it out. People are going to watch the replay. And you know what? If you feel like you gave good content, save it, download it, re-upload it. Damn, bam, you're good. You know, I started my YouTube channel a couple of years ago, and I have so much content on there. And the goal was to show people this is not my first rodeo, you know, and to say, oh, I have a 5-minute warm up. You should go to Captivate the Crowd YouTube and get my warm up for free. But it's a way to elevate your authority and expertise. And it's a way to free up your time. You don't have to go through the warm. You can say, oh, go do that warm up and then call me, you know? So you can teach stuff. I also love to create lists. I love to create. I have like a million handouts because my brain is always like, oh, I want to add that. I want to do this. But people love lists. Our brains love numbers. And I don't recommend going higher than 10 because I just feel like even though today I'm doing 25, don't listen to me. But there's something about numbers that it helps our brain kind of know how long it's going to go, right? And we like 3, 5, 7, you know, less is more. I just wanted to give you guys a lot today. So you can go through one of your favorite handouts, which is pretty much what I'm doing. You know, I'm just going through mine, and then you'll get, I mean, it's good to take notes, and then you can get your own copy too. But you can go through a favorite checklist, handout, what not to do, what to do, some of your tricks of the trade, right? You can do an op-ed piece. I sound so cosmopolitan. You know, you can be like, hey, so we're in this global pandemic. I predict more people are going to be doing video, which is, you know, duh. Yeah, that's not the most brilliant, you know, out of the box prediction. It's like, of course they are. But yeah, I think my prediction is a lot of brick and mortar stores are going to go completely online. My prediction is a lot of the restaurants are going to go down to food trucks and catering, because I don't know what's going to happen. You know, I mean, I hope I'm wrong with that, but it's a great way to talk about parts of your industry that you're good at, and show, you know, give value and share your opinion. And you can do, I have an intern. I love having interns, and I love having cool millennial interns. They are so amazing, at least the ones I've had, so adorable. And they'll be like, Elaine, I don't think that's good. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I love it because they, you know, because I'll just get going so fast. But one of my interns said, why don't you do a live story about this YouTube video? And I was like, wow, that's brilliant. So you can do a quick Instagram live story and send people to another story or video or article. One of the reasons I also love video is I love to sweat. I work out every day, and I got to tell you, I'm really missing my spin classes right now so much. And when I get out of there, I am like drenched in sweat, no makeup, red face. But a lot of times I am just like open, whoa, and I just want to share my love. And so sometimes I have made videos in the gym or in my car, just like gross, sweaty videos, but I'm coming from such a place of contribution and love and inspiration. And those get a lot of views, even though, you know, my hair's messy. But, you know, that's, to me, is really cool when you can stop in the moment when you're totally inspired by something and share that with your tribe. I love that. I love that impromptu. Now, I mean, obviously, some people might think that's against brand. So I think it depends on what you teach, your niche, that kind of thing. But to me, I love being spontaneously inspired and to share that. That's part of just who I am. And it's not pretty, I'll tell you that. Here's another thing I just want to frame. So when I first started doing live video, I was timid. It reminded me of when I started doing stand-up comedy. I'd be kind of like, hi, I don't want to take too much of your time. So I have a couple of tips today. And do you like me? I hope you like me. Is this funny? Like, even though I was saying one thing, my body language, I was being completely incongruent. And this is kind of what happens when you first start doing something. It's happened when I first started doing comedy, of like, is this joke funny? Instead of like, this is freaking funny, right? There's different ways of delivery. And so what I realized during that process was I was afraid someone was going to come along and bully me. I was terrified that some troll would come onto Facebook Live and start making fun of, you know, I'm short, my wrinkles, my hair, you know, all that stuff. And so I was being like this timid, wimpy version of myself. And then my mentor got cyberbullied, made fun of in a very public place in this really big mastermind group on Facebook. And this woman like made fun of her lisp, her makeup, the way she talked. Like, it was really mean and petty. And so she was so upset, and she called her mentor, and her mentor was like, awesome! That is awesome! Because if you're bold, if you are standing for what you believe in, if you are on a mission, you know what? You're going to piss some people off. You're going to irritate people. Think about Oprah, there are entire YouTube channels devoted to making fun of her and Gail. I mean, I'm like, who has the time? But anytime you're standing boldly for something, some people are going to take offense to that, or they're going to be reminded of something about themselves. So I decided to embrace that controversy is good. And the way you handle a cyberbully, will say a lot, with grace. So it's actually a sign that you're on your way. So just having that reframe for me created so much freedom. And like, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I jump around, I have high energy, my voice is raspy today. I'm not perfect. So somebody, there's certain types of personalities who would probably never want to work with me, and that's okay. There's enough people who do, but I just encourage you to not let that stop you. And the cool thing is, you're in control, right? Like when I got Zoom bombed 2 weeks ago, I was like in the middle of all this stuff. I had like 20 people. I was so excited. And all of a sudden these people were coming on, and I had stupidly put the link out publicly. So that was my bad. And they're coming on and they're saying horrible words and playing rap music. They put Kermit the Frog porn, which I think is kind of funny. But like, I was like horrified. And you know what? I couldn't seem to mute them fast enough, so I just ended the meeting. And I apologized to everybody and reached out to everybody, and they reached out to me. And it was like, I decided, I chose to look at that as like, I'm on my way. I had my first hecklers, and that's a miracle for me, because a couple of years ago, I would have gone into the shame spiral and I'd be in the toilet. But, like, that's part of like putting yourself out there. But ultimately, you can be in control, and you can delete their comments or address them personally or something like that. So it's all good. So, okay, you can do, you can ask one of your favorite clients, hey, will you come on with me and just talk about how awesome I am? And you can have rapport with them. And so that's always fun too. That's what social media is all about, right? Like if I say, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great, you may be like, okay, whatever. But if I have 3 other people going, she's great, you should do her stuff, that has so much more proof and weight, right? You can also do big announcements, like, hey, I'm rolling out, like I'm going to talk about the Inspiring Story Salon. I just have to get the logistics and the time because I'm so busy right now. So I have to figure out, I don't want to spread myself too thin, but you can do some kind of big announcement. Maybe it is celebrating something that one of your clients created. Maybe it's a new level that you hit with your business or in your life. It can be something personal too. I'm a big fan of sharing your personal stuff. Not too much. You don't have to take everybody into your bedroom or show all pictures of food. But I think it's great to do what I call lifestyle videos, especially on the weekends. Like, hey, I'm walking with my clients, or hey, we're moving, this is what I do in my spare time. I'm into yoga, I'm into that. Like, there's nothing wrong with sharing part of your lifestyle with your tribe, because they want to know what you do when you're not teaching your stuff, right? They want to know who you are. And we do business with people we know, like, and trust. And so it's absolutely okay. Not every video has to be like, okay, I'm giving you content and value. I'm giving you content and value. It can be who you are and what you're up to a degree. And you get to say how vulnerable you want to be. So, and then, this is like a no-brainer, but I think sometimes because we talk about our business and we think about our businesses so much, I know I make that assumption that everybody knows what I do. Or just because I say it 10 times a day doesn't mean other people don't need to hear it, right? And so I love talking about live video because you can talk about your story. You can do quick, short versions of your story and connect it with why you do what you do now and how you got to where you got, right? Like one of my clients, Teresa, she is an organizer, but she is so much more than that. But she's from the South, And when she was doing my course, she was like this amazing, strong woman. And she was like, well, you know, I had cancer when I was 14, but then I healed it and blah, blah, blah. And we were like, stop, wait, what? And so, you know, it's so great. We have all of us have stories that are so amazing that we forget or we discount, or we're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. So that's one of the things I love doing is like, wait, stop, that's amazing. So she was sharing how she was in New Orleans during Katrina, and they had to have 3 generations of her family living in one tiny apartment because of the hurricane. So that she was forced to become this super organizer so they wouldn't kill each other, right? Like they were in survival mode, 3 generations of people that should have been in 3 places, not one. But because of Hurricane Katrina, and that's how she started developing her organizational things and what she did. And when she told me that story, I was like, I want to work with you. Like, to me, that is an organizer with soul. That's an organizer who's been through some stuff. That's an organizer who's going to be able to handle my intensity, you know? And so that's one reason she had never thought that that story would add to her business. But she, you know, can you see the dots? So anyway, so that's another option you can do. You can also do a big thank you. You know, you can give away, say, okay, you know what, we're gonna practice. Everyone's gonna come to the story salon and we're gonna practice telling stories. And that's my gift to you. I do comedy nights. We're not gonna do it tomorrow night because it's Easter and Passover and just feels like it's too much, but we're gonna do it probably soon again. But I love doing that because I love trying to make people laugh, and my comedy buddy's hilarious. And then other people can come and get laughs too. We've had like 20 people on there because we all need to laugh. And you can only binge Netflix so much, right? So that's another way is to thank you. You can also have an open Q&A, which I may do a little bit, you know, of like, do you have questions? Is there a burning question? What's your biggest challenge? That's a great way. You know, Jeff Walker, he's doing his launch right now. He's doing a pivot launch, and he constantly surveys his people. What's your biggest challenge? What are you dealing with? So that is such a great way to get in your prospects' brains and hear the words that they're saying. You know, we can sit around all day and think about what people want, but they are going to say it in a different way, right? It's like pillow talk, right? Like nobody lays on the bed and goes, oh gosh, at night I have to be fiscally more responsible. So no, we go, how am I going to pay for college? We have to, when you can be in your prospects' minds, that's a great way. So Q&A, surveying, asking, talking to them is so, so good. You can do a public poll, you know, like Stephen Colbert. I don't know if you guys have been watching any of the late night guys. And he, you know, he was like, suit, no suit, tie, no tie. You know, people want to engage and they want to be in a community where they feel like they're heard, where they can contribute. And then, do a survey, share your opinion. What's your take on it? And then tell a story. We love a good story. Make sure it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It doesn't have to be in consecutive. It doesn't have to be linear, but it just needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. And there needs to be a point. There needs to be a point. But we all love stories. You know, so much of our lives we're focused on the future, or we're rehashing the past, And one reason I think we love stories, it's like it helps us like land. And it's that human identification. And that, you know, you want to be able to keep always telling your story so that people can identify. So anyway, so that is my tips for that. And I would love to tell you guys about the program that I'm offering right now. Is that cool? Whoop, whoop. Okay. So normally it's $9.97, but I'm offering it for $97 because I just want people to go through it, and I just want people to be making videos and helping. And I love it. It's 6 weeks. We do the first one, we talk about confidence, and we start that whole process. Then we go into connecting with yourself, your why, your thing. Then we go into storytelling, deep storytelling, sensual 5 senses storytelling, and we spend 2 classes on that. Then we go into voice, body, breath, putting it all together, because I don't want to see talking heads. I want your body. I want you, even if you're only from the waist up, I want you to speak from your heart and your gut and not from intellectual, right? So then we put it all together, and then I also bonus a lot of practice time and other opportunities to be in front of other people. And I don't even have like a special button for it. I've just been having people PayPal me if they want to do it. And I have, right now I have available, I could do a Tuesday night, or I could do a Thursday night. So let me know if you're interested. I can send you the PayPal link for $97. You will get a ton of handouts. I go over, I do a lot of performance stuff too. So we go over voice and breath and the importance of warming up, which I talked about earlier, like your energy state. And then I also have storytelling handouts, engagement handouts. There is a private Facebook group for members only that is so magical because it's so hidden. It's hard for me to find, but it's just a safe place where people come in and you can practice and you can put videos. And if that feels like too much, you can make videos on your phone and send them directly to me, and I will review them. But my goal is that after the first week, people are making videos. So I already started a new group program last week, and one lady has already made 3 videos, and one lady has made 1, and they have never done it before. Because my goal is we got to get out there. We got to help people. We got to share our gifts, because the news is, we need to have things other than the Tiger King and the news, like, please help us. And I'm on a mission. I had 3 addictions. I was assaulted as a preteen and all through high school, and then my freshman year in college. I had a rough time, but luckily I've done a lot of healing and a lot of work, but I know I should have been dead, like a lot. There were many, many situations I got myself into that were really horrific. And for whatever reason, I'm still here and I'm sober. And so I made a deal with the universe, God, spirit, like, okay, show me how to use my story for good. And so I feel like I've been given this gift of teaching in sort of a not so traditional way to make it fun, to help people relax so that they can be themselves. And so that's part of my mission, because I can't do it by myself. I need an army of people. And I feel like live video is the best way to do it, especially right now, And here's one more thing, whether you work with me or not, stage time, stage time, stage time. That's Darren LaCroix's slogan. He was a Toastmaster. He was like a world champion speaker. And, I love seeing new comics when sometimes I'll see them and I've coached them, or I just support them at the mics, and then I'd be like, you're getting funnier, keep going. There's nothing like stage time. And that's one reason, whether you may never go live, right? You may just do recorded videos because that's what you want to do. But every time you press that camera and you see that light, you're getting to practice. What do I do under pressure? What do I do? Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to have that 3rd cup of coffee, because then I'm going to be like talking like this and it's too much, right? You're going to learn what you do. Oh, you know what? My throat is dry. I need to make sure I have water, and not sparkling soda, but water on my desk. So I just love practicing video because it can help you in so many other ways. And when you learn to practice talking about what you do, that translates for when you're out in real life again, which will happen someday, right? It's like, to me, it's like when we practice our elevator pitches, which is always like, oh God, but like the more you do it, the better you get at it. So anyway, that's enough out of me. Does anybody have questions or just want to come say hi? Andrea, it's so good to see you.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi, how's your mom?
Really good.
Good.
Really good. I went out to the grocery store yesterday for the first time since the 24th of March.
Okay. Okay, good.
I went to the outside world. Everything is good. I'm in for Thursdays.
Okay. Woo! We got a Thursday. And I was just going to say, So Andrea lives in Yuma, which is
Yuma,
like
Arizona.
100 million degrees. So if we get too contained, we can just go there because it'll be safe from the virus.
That's what my mom is saying. She said, I think it'll be better this summer.
Yeah, everyone's gonna go there. So awesome, awesome. Well, I just want to say, oh, I can't. Oh, hi, AD. Thanks for joining us. Okay. And Catherine, thank you. Are you here?
Thank
Catherine?
you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I would love to talk to you. I can talk at 4 in a minute if you want.
Sure, give me a call.
Okay. And Lois, thank you. Did you have fun? I thought I unmuted you, but maybe I didn't.
Yep, it was good. It was
Did you
good. I have
like
a
it?
quick question.
Sure.
What do you feel is the difference between YouTube and Vimeo?
That's a good question. I love Vimeo. I have a ton of stuff on there, but I don't think the general public knows it as much. Now, to me, if you're let's say you start doing more, I know you're already doing a lot. Let's say you do live videos and you're like, this is rocking it. Then you save it, download it, put it up to YouTube and have a Vimeo channel too. If you're maxed out for time, YouTube is where more people go. So, I mean, Vimeo's great. I think Vimeo's good for like projects too.
Okay.
It's a little bit more like pro stuff. But I mean, who knew? Like Zoom has had a huge pop, so things are going to keep changing. But I just think, you know, number two, if you want to be found, and there are ways, and I'm actually doing a course learning how to SEO my YouTube so that it can be more searchable. So that was a good question. And Tom,
Yeah.
thanks for coming. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Cool.
I did. Hi.
Thank you so much. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I would say we've got Thursday down. And Lois, do you want to join us, or do you have stuff going on?
I've got a lot of stuff going on right now, so
Okay. Cool. So at
we'll
some
stay
point,
in touch. We'll stay in touch.
my people will call your people. It'll be great. So
Yes, yes.
awesome. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. I hope that you got a lot out of it. I'm going to keep giving these because I just feel like it's needed, and I appreciate you and what you're doing. And keep sharing your gifts and your talents because it's needed and wanted now more than ever. So thank you for being in my community. And Andrea, I will talk to you very soon. And yay! All right. Thanks,
Okay.
you guys. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Okay.
You too. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Did I end it? Okay.